Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to That Sounds Gay. My name is Jer, and we are here with Jesse.
Moo.
Oh, a new one.
Have you seen that video of that gay cow?
Yes.
Moo. Moo.
Period.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm here for it. I'm super here for it. So last time we were talking about some Italian women, and we went through the entirety of Italia season 1.
Only took like 5 hours.
Yeah. It was like nothing.
It was
But
a breeze.
I want to remind all of our listeners at home and you that I have not seen in any of the Canada 2, the UK 3, or season 14 videos, they have not snuck in a promo for Italia once. But midway through 13, they were talking about UK coming back, I think. Midway through UK, they talked about Canada.
They don't talk about Italy.
Do they ever acknowledge it?
Honestly, I feel like I don't ever hear chats of Italia.
Yeah.
I feel like she's a forgotten girl.
I guess. We are back in the US once again. I feel like we were just here. Like, this feels pretty fast that we were here from All-Star 6. We are talking about, for the next couple weeks, a Drag Race season 14.
Wow.
Do you remember when this dropped?
I do, actually. Yeah.
That Candyland trailer was so tea.
That Candyland trailer, and then I did want to talk about, I want that, and then also the arcade Meet the Queens cast reveal.
I forgot the arcade cast reveal.
Yeah, because I was looking at that just now where they come down the arcade.
Holy smokes.
With like all of the machines, and they have their little runway walk.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was hot. Jasmine Kennedy was in like a little prom dress and did like a backhand spring.
I love this Carrie Pink look.
Carrie was just wearing her Meet the Queens look,
right?
Which is hilarious. My favorites were definitely Madeline Morphosis.
Madeline is so
Maddie
fun.
ate it. I loved Bosco setting the stage for her kinky lingerie, and I also love Willow's look. Very arcade chic, which I thought was fun.
Oh, this is a fun one. Yeah, I remember this throwback. Can I say this Candyland theme is one of my favorites?
Oh, such a good promo, such a good theme. Yeah, I mean, it's great because it ties into the chocolate bar of it all.
Yeah,
but it's such a gorgeous it's such a gorgeous promo. I mean, the water promo makes sense this year because of the dunk tank, but also like a Monopoly like board game. Like, I love that idea.
Yeah,
it was so hot.
It's been really fun to look back on this season because I love a lot of these queens, and the actual season itself has been interesting to discuss.
Yeah,
or it will be. On this Candyland promo, Maddie's look and Willow's look still gag me all these years later.
Oh, yeah.
I love this silhouette on Willow.
Willow's look is crazy. It's so, like, one of a kind.
Totally. And, like, Maddie, do you remember all the scandal of her being cast when it was revealed that she was straight?
Everyone thinks she's going to be, like, a subdued, like...
Yeah.
Like a homophobe.
Or, like, whatever. Like, I remember people saying, oh, she doesn't deserve it. Like, other gay people should be here. I remember thinking, like, should we have a straight dude in drag? And like, I remember being very conflicted on it at the time, but as time's gone on, I'm like, the fact that Maddie has done drag is inherently queer.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have to suck dick and cock to be queer.
Sucking dick and cock.
Time and place.
I would be so here for her coming back for All Stars now, though. Yeah. Now that the world knows who she is, I think they'd be much more ready and accepting of her.
Yeah. Didn't she kind of imply with Denali that she wouldn't do it when I think it was with Denali, right?
She probably did.
I feel like she's implied somewhere.
I don't doubt it, but
it's fun to see her again after being so plugged in with her YouTube now.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, this girl's fast.
And like having a different perception of her now.
Totally.
Knowing the slay she is.
So another thing for all of our listeners, we are in year 2022. Finally, we've finally gotten out of the 21s.
Wow.
There were 100 seasons in 2021. But this year is, I think, a little bit smaller. 23 is where it gets
the way I
nuts.
couldn't tell if you were sarcastic at first or not. I was like, how many episodes did we do?
We did so many. We did, I think, 18 seasons total last year that we covered.
So exhausting.
So let's get into this because we're going to talk about the first 4 episodes today. Which, can I say?
Say it.
This is a lengthy season, but there's like not a lot of content.
Yeah, it's a huge sandwich, but then there's not as much meat as you'd think there'd be.
It's a lot of lettuce.
You get a foot long from Subway.
Oh.
And then you open it and there's like a scoop of meat. A scoop? There's a handful of meat and then it's just like all lettuce and spinach and onion and tomato.
Delta would not be happy with this sandwich artist.
They didn't have the proper tools.
So we start out with the first big opening. I don't like a split premiere, I'm going to be honest. Especially like the talent show split premieres. I feel like so whatever.
I like a split premiere, kind of like how they did it this year, where everyone's featured.
Yes.
The girls who weren't performing were voting and vice versa.
Yeah. This was probably the most successful in 17, I would say.
I don't like when it's like the season 6 style where they truly are 2 houses divided.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite vibe.
And someone goes home like permanently.
Yeah.
The most egregious was probably 13, I would say, with like the whole Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah, that was definitely the most evil.
It's despicable. So our very first in the workroom is Alyssa Hunter looking hot in this crimped wig, this like upscale hunter look. Gorge. And then is hot out of drag.
Gorge.
But Alyssa has a pretty short run. Like probably one of the shortest Puerto Rican queens.
I was just thinking about her. Well, not her, but I was just thinking about looking at her. They really gave up on the seasonal Puerto Rico.
They really did, because we were having that for a while.
That was like a tradition since season 1. There's at least a Puerto Rican queen every season, if not more. And there's always like a point of that. And like, I know they're still out there.
There must be.
Like, why are we like now we're casting like 8 queens from Kansas City or whatever, like, you know,
6 Missouri queens.
Yeah, six Missouri girls. Yeah.
What was the one in 15? Connecticut got the spotlight. Our second in the workroom is Bosco. Her opening line, I wrote it down because it was so good. Let's get out there and make a difference. I'm like obsessed with her, especially. Did you watch all of the Vegas Untucked?
Yes.
That reading challenge at the end of the season.
Oh my God, yeah.
She's just like,
she was such a lovely energy there.
Yeah.
I haven't told you yet. I'm actually going to see Drag Race Vegas probably.
Oh my God, for your birthday?
Yeah.
Exciting.
She's not there though, but I wish she was. But Kylie Sonique love.
That's right.
I'm
Ginger. You're going to see Ginger.
I'm there for Kylie Sonique love and Morphine.
Sure.
Those are who are making me buy that ticket.
Sure. Who else is there? Is it Asia again?
It's Asia hosting.
Hell yeah.
Jinger Ming, Plain Jane, Morphine, Kylie, maybe one other person.
You only see 5 of the rotating cast though, right? I don't think all of them are in it.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Hopefully if Kylie or Morphine's not there, I will be a little sad. But
I really hope you get Kylie.
Yeah, or I'd love to get like a fierce alternate. Like if Coco's there, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I'd love for Coco to be there.
Are Coco and Derek still on the rotating list?
I hope so. Or Derek. Oh my God, if Derek's there, I will die.
Derek's been there every season, I feel like.
I hope Derek's there.
Every cast rotation.
But yeah, going back to Bosco. Other thing I love about Bosco's entrance. Hi, I'm Bosco. Hi, I'm from Puerto Rico. Her interaction with Alyssa.
Yes. I thought that was so funny.
Hi, I'm Bosco. Hi, I'm from Puerto Rico.
Alyssa's so interesting because she seems like she's totally just like zeroed out of the competition.
Yeah.
Like, she's not there at all. She's physically there, but her brain is still in Puerto
Coworker
Rico.
who's put in their last like 2 weeks. They've already put in their 2 weeks. They have another job. Right. They're just doing their last couple shifts.
They're just walking around. Oh my God, that is tea. Our third in is cornbread. I can't believe they never brought it back for 15 or 16.
Never breaded the corn again.
Evil. Actually.
The corn was never to be breaded again.
And she has such good TV and such good competition. I loved her all over again. Watching again. Our fourth in is Willow, our winner, wearing an angle shirt.
ICONIC. Angle platform sandal, flip-flop sandals.
I love this look so much. She looks like a tourist.
This look is so crazy. And where am I?
And then they're saying, hello, children of the Lord.
She's so crazy.
She's psychotic.
I freaking love her.
I swear she won as soon as she walked in. Like the winners won. It was as soon as she walked in with those flip-flops. It was over, truly. I fear. Like it could have been cornbread, but it was going to be Willow and cornbread at the end if cornbread didn't end up having to leave.
I think she passed the threshold because now we could enter a realm where someone would wear this unironically.
Oh, yeah.
And I think because she was like just ahead of the Y2K thing as well.
Yeah.
So this was like as Y2K was starting to become a thing, but she like leaned into like the absurdity of it.
Totally.
Someone would unironically do this now and someone would legit be like, what is this bitch thinking? But she's a mastermind.
She has the mind of a mastermind.
Yes.
I'm so obsessed with her. And she also has not done drag for almost a year because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I forgot about the storyline that didn't really go anywhere, but
it didn't go anywhere, but I honestly appreciate it because like that's real for the girlies who like had to go back to their other work or like weren't able to do drag because they couldn't do drag. They weren't doing digital drag then,
right?
You know, XYZ, and they just had their day job and totally. That was it. You know, I feel like that was tea.
We have fifth in Carrie Colby. I was obsessed with her this season. I was really obsessed with her. Crazy to have a child before their mother.
Right.
This happens a lot, I feel like, though, on Drag Race.
She was the soft launch for Carrie or for Sasha Colby.
Yeah. And then we have June and Jambalaya and Cornbread immediately. In like the most, is that Ariel Versace? Energy?
Bitch, that's June.
Bitch, that's June. It made me laugh so much. I'm like, Morca D's. I miss her.
Morca D's. In this crazy bodysuit.
Crazy. I kind of live for June.
I love June. Let me say that. I love June.
Can I just say, I love June Jambalaya. June Jambalaya, baby. And then our last queen for this group is Orion Story, holding a burger phone.
Okay. This whole entrance. Walking in, whistle tone screaming. And then picking up the burger phone. RuPaul, we're here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. And then what'd she say at the end?
It's crazy. I don't remember what she said afterwards, but she describes herself as Barbarella on Sesame Street. And I'm like, what the heck? We were so robbed.
I think this woman just needed more time to cook.
Totally.
Because I see where she's going and I hold space for it.
I think we should hold space for her. I would love to see her in an All-Stars. Like, she needed like one more year.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So Ru is fresh from the UK, ready to send no one home for the next 10 weeks. And we jump into the first mini challenge of this season, which is a freaky photo shoot where they have to get on that season finale wheel and mug the house down.
This was cruel.
Rotten.
This was literally just, we're going to fuck with them.
We're going to mess them up.
Because the other group, the ball pit, that's at least an opportunity to serve and be cunty in the ball pit.
Totally.
This is just hateful.
Yeah, it's kind of despicable. And my soul immediately died because she starts out it's a will pill.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Straight to it.
Straight to the psychosis.
She was like getting ready that morning, like, and like reading over the dossier, like, it's a will pill? It's a will pill. Like throughout her day, like getting ready in the bathroom, like tying her shoes.
Powdering her nose.
And then by the time she got there, she's like, it's a will pill.
She like walks by a producer. Hey, can I run something by you real quick? Tell me if you think this is funny. It's a will pill. And they just do the awkward laugh. Like, hee, Rue, you're so funny.
I love this.
It's so good. I love it. It was really good.
I loved it. I thought
you.
it was really good.
Thank you. Carrie wins our very first photo challenge, and they learn that they're going to be doing the variety show, the CNT Awards, where the only thing missing is you.
That was, for lack of better words, cunty.
It was.
That was great marketing.
It really, really was. It was so good. So I thought this was interesting because we have our first walkthrough, and we get Rue's most iconic banger lines. Willow, tell me about your darkness. What's your chronic illness? That's nuts.
So tell me about your illness. So what haunts you? What makes it hard for you to open your eyes in the morning?
On day one, bitch.
Getting right to it.
On day one.
This is a great example of how our social skills atrophied during the pandemic.
Yes.
It happened to all of us. RuPaul lost all tact.
Rue is not immune to it.
She came back in and she was like, how do I do this again? Okay, your mom's dead? No, sorry. Wait, sorry. Let's try that again.
Give her another take. Okay, so tell me about your trauma with your dead mom. Rue, no.
Yeah.
Stop.
Is your inner saboteur just you because you're not good enough?
When she asked Ella Vidae if she was a failed actor who turned to drag.
Do you just do drag because you can't get a job anywhere else?
Oh, it's so evil and despicable.
Do you need this $100,000 because you're in debt? Do you owe money to people in high places?
Is that what the dudes outside in the suits are here for? Are they here for you? We can pay them.
We're family now. I'm your family now.
I'm your mama. Our very first variety show. We've got, let's blast through these if you're okay with that.
Yes.
We got June doing an African dance number.
I appreciate that it's not a lip sync.
Yeah.
She was just bamboozled by costuming.
Yeah.
It would have been safe otherwise, I think.
Yeah, it was like really mid. But you know what I kept thinking about was BB doing her African dance, and she was like roaring at everyone. Yes.
Cameroon. This is the African dance equivalent of what Ariete just did.
Yeah,
where it was very cute and serviceable, but there was not any like sparkle to it.
Totally.
But I don't want to like say like anything disparaging about it because I'm like, I appreciate this.
Yeah, me too.
And she went to school for this, so
I appreciate that she did it. I think this should be shared on Drag Race.
Should be shared. Sorry.
Oh, should be shared on Drag Race. Shut up, stupid.
Oh. All right.
Tamisha. We have Bosco doing burlesque as a flower.
I love this little flower burlesque.
I loved Cornbread yelling, "Take it off."
Thoughts.
Yeah.
Love the flower, love the petal by petal. Mm-hmm. Thought she could have sold it a little harder.
Totally.
She would though at first just smiling like petal, petal, petal. Like just like I read this thing, but there's just like it's just kind of an epidemic of the youth.
Uh-huh.
I say this as if I'm older. But like us young people, I think whatever media we perceived gave us this idea that to be sexy or to be serving is to be stone-faced or to not be as emotive.
Oh, uh-huh.
Because older generations, give a lot more in the face. Younger generations will be doing a lot in the body.
Oh, sure.
And not doing anything in the face.
Yeah.
Like they'll either be very stone faced or very stoic. Like I don't know what that is.
Interesting. I guess I hadn't thought about that.
But like but I think it's like giving cunt to just be very like demure. But like, you know, older generations or just people who are trained differently usually are more emotive and expressive. This is kind of what you're talking about with Miss Jeray.
Yeah.
But it's like these young, and not saying Bosco specifically, but just that thing of like, it's less in the face, more in the body.
Right. I wonder where that comes from. Is it like the Botox where people's faces just don't move?
And well,
so
and
they're
that,
like,
but
boom,
so
boom,
maybe
boom.
that is like the girlies that these people looked up to and like were really inspired by are people who've had a lot of work done.
Yeah. So their faces
it also
naturally don't
could be
move.
supermodels who aren't expressive, but
True.
But there's a thing where it's like whether they're dancing, whatever, it's like stone face. It's very like serious face almost.
Yeah.
Not saying Bosco is serious face in this, but this just kind of made me think of that point.
Yeah, no, I see that. Well, and I and my brain's like wandering over to Top Model, where like the girls that were too emotive would sort of be like, "You're being clowny.
Yeah,
Stop it. Rely on your sex appeal."
Exactly. Yeah, but now it's kind of like they kind of want the opposite here.
Yeah. We have, and you know what? That's honestly kind of a theme of this whole situation here that I'm looking at this whole talent show, because like everyone's a little bit kind of low key. Like Alyssa's doing a lip sync.
Oh my god, this.
I didn't know the song. What song was this?
It sounds like someone who was given a Pink B-side.
Not a B-side.
I thought it was Pink until I realized it wasn't Pink.
Yeah, I don't know.
She should have been the bottom instead of June. I'm sorry.
Agree. She
I'm
did your
playing
favorite
guitar
thing.
for my talent show.
An air guitar.
She confuses me.
Okay,
because
tell me.
they shaft her like 3 episodes from now, but they do her a lot of favors in
Early.
this first, because they could have put her with the person who was playing guitar.
Easy.
And for me, para mí, spooky me, I feel like that is like a production dream, that you have someone whose talent is on paper playing, 2 people on paper, their talent is playing guitar. One of them brought a real guitar that they are playing for their entire talent, and the other person is playing a fake guitar and doing a lip sync. I feel like that is a great matchup to put next to each other,
honestly.
But I feel like they wanted to have the straight person be doing their own thing, and I think they also were not protecting Alyssa, but it felt like they had Alyssa's best interest in mind the first episode,
totally,
and then threw that out the window moving forward. They're like, actually, no, fuck her.
And they're like, you know what? She's actually not giving us anything.
We actually don't
care.
want to sustain our relationship with Puerto Rico.
Right?
We don't need friends elsewhere.
We're gonna cut ties right now. We don't need any of this.
Yeah.
I hear you, and I agree on every bit of that. I want to say the most interesting thing about her talent show is that it's the first licensed number that we've had in a talent show.
Oh yeah, we're moving into real music.
Yeah,
real music.
Real music,
which we see as well with Willow when we get to her.
And Carrie, she does Anaconda.
And Carrie, yeah.
I really loved her jump rope. It made me remember Jax doing the same thing. Do you remember Jax also did the double dutch?
I think about Jax's so much. I can't talk about that. That is one of my favorite talent shows of all time.
It's so good.
To freaking LaKaylee 47. Girl.
Yeah. You know what? I really liked her performance, and the judges thought like she should have maybe done less lip syncing, but I thought it was a nice balance.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
They acted like it was like 30 seconds. Like she just did the opening line, and then when the beat came in and it sped up.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, because she lips
in my mind,
she lip synced to the boy Troy named Troy used to live in Detroit part, which is slower.
Yeah.
And then by the way, what he say when the beat comes in, it starts picking up is when she started skipping.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Visually, it creates less dissonance by doing that.
Because like Jax does the same thing to reference another roller skate one. Sorry, I'm thinking of Lexi Love. I'm thinking of Lexi Love because I feel like this is very Lexi Love coded most recent season. When Lexi Love did her roller skate number in the most recent season, I thought about this number.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like, it's that very fun, like this is a actual skill, but it's also like very young and fun and childlike. Yeah. And like, it's just like a fun energy.
It's a fun variety show number.
And it's like the same thing that whoever said it when Lexi did is like, if I saw this in the club, like if I just went to like a tip spot at the club and a girl came out and was like double dutching to Nicki Minaj, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so fun.
I'd be at the ATM grabbing money.
This would be amazing. I'd be screaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, to Jax's part, she did an extended lip sync before she did, again, when the heavier drum came into that song and it sped up, then she started, like, I don't know, it just made sense.
I agree. I think it worked, and the judges acted all weird about it. Orion is like this cringe level of hell, the aerobics trainer. And again, very similar energy to what we see in part 2 with Deja. Like they're the same coin, just different sides.
I want to put like her, Deja, Heidi's stand-up, among others. I just want to put all of these characters in a room, and like see who comes out alive. With
Dela's comedy from 6.
Oh my God!
It's a wet area, but it's my moist area.
No, she would definitely get killed. She would get eaten alive.
She would be the first one out of the cringe.
Utica's roast would be in there in that room.
Oh yeah,
making whale noises. Yeah. I just want to do like a quarter quell of all of these like bad stand-up performances. But like that's like, but it's that specific like, it's a fully fledged character that you should have never fledged.
Yeah. Jasmine Masters, Trinity K. Bonet, Derek Barry.
See, yes. Yeah, it's like the effort and refinement into something bad.
Something evil.
Yeah.
When Surmala did that pretty girl makeup in the lingerie and she just looked like Aunt Sponge. I wonder if the reason why they didn't put Alyssa and Maddie together was because they were like, if we do that, then we have to put Deja and Orion together.
Fair.
So they were like, let's just split him up, you know?
Yeah.
We also have Cornbread doing an original song. I really loved this like dip dye wig with the snake print shirt. She looked like so cool. That look lives in my brain with that chicken necklace. Obsessed. The Merle Ginsburg missing on the milk carton. She like thought this through. She was so iconic. She commands the stage.
The stove.
Yes. We'll get to it, and I'm like jumping ahead. Deliberation this week was so problematic. Because Michelle like microaggressions Cornbread, and it's like, I couldn't understand you, and I'm like, Mama, how dare you?
I remember this.
And Carrie has like a bunch of K's on her name, and they say, I think it's Ross is like, good thing because you have K, and then Rue goes, good thing it wasn't 3, and then Rue says, I'm more triggered by the fact that you look like you've got cotton. And I'm like, what is happening on this judging panel? Why did Lizzo get here and everybody got it problematic? You know what I mean? Like the judging part of this gets so left from center that it made me like uncomfortable. It made me so uncomfortable. I wanted to like skip the episode.
Who was scared? Raise your hands if you were scared.
I was scared too. Like, I don't think I processed that information at this time, but watching it again, I'm like, oh my God.
Was it Lizzo who said like, oh, I thought I could understand everything you were saying?
Yeah. Thankfully, she was the one who like backed up on the microaggressions, but like this whole section gets really wonky. Honestly, Cornbread could have won the whole season, I think, if she hadn't gotten hurt. Her uncle.
I mean, Willow's speech.
Yeah.
I like to think Cornbread's ankle.
Yeah. And then our very last performance is Willow doing Only Time by Enya. And it's this psychotic number of a woman who starts a bubble bath, eats spaghetti, and then drops a toaster oven in the bath.
The evolution of RuPaul's face watching it as well.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's like, it's weirdly like very like real and like raw and emotional, but in such like a hee hee ha ha way that like you don't have to say anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, there is like a lot of like mental health meat to it.
Yeah.
Because isn't the whole thing is it's a what's it called? A lockdown self-care routine.
Yeah.
Which is like gorging yourself. She does one other thing and then like
then kills
KMS.
It's crazy. Like, it's such interesting social political commentary while also like just being so ridiculous. It was like divine coded to me.
But then also like, I don't know. Sometimes like, well, I mean, obviously with her case and like with chronically ill people, that delivering that sort of punchline with that sort of perspective of like, it is very like tongue in cheek. And I do love it to kind of like take the power of like, yeah, like I deal with this, like this is my life, and kind of like take the piss out of it and deliver that kind of like abrasive comedy in a way that other people can't do as effectively.
Right.
I think is like a really like cool way to harness that.
It's a nice device of delivering dark comedy because it's such a sensitive issue that it could become like, ooh, should you have done that? But knowing her, she's the only one that could have really done that.
Well, yeah. And it's like, if you're struggling with like mental illness, chronic illness, I think that you're allowed to process it in whatever way makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Some people don't enjoy making humor and jokes about it. And then for some people, making jokes and humor about it is everything. But also,
it's healing.
Like, it's like, yeah, it's like making a joke about, but it's also kind of like pulling like the curtain back a little bit on it. Like, I don't know. I love it.
I did too. I lived. Our runway for this first episode is signature show stomping drag looks. As much as I want to like dig into all of these, we have a ball coming up. So we should share a standout if you have one. Mine was Alyssa. I loved Alyssa's outfit.
I mean, Alyssa's was really slay, wasn't it?
It was stunning. And then the signature 3 titties came back.
Oh my God.
Do you remember?
Triple titties.
Okay, so we were talking about triple titties a while ago because I don't remember who had them a couple seasons ago.
Blue hydrangea?
Maybe. Do you remember Orion got eliminated the same week that girl in Dragula got eliminated? Do you remember that? The girl did the 3 titties.
Curse of the 3 titties.
I think it was season 3. Or maybe it was Dahlia's season. Was it? I don't think it was Louisiana. One of those girlies came out in
3 boobs.
2 or 3 and had triple titties and got eliminated the same week that Orion did. I remember that distinctly. Because I remember the internet freaking out about it.
Don't wear 3 boobs.
I don't want to see 3 boobs anymore.
I also, not a highlight, because it was kind of an underwhelming look, but I do know that Cornbread specifically wore this for Lizzo because she had a different look for show-stopping drag, and she knew that she had this, so she wore it.
That's so fun.
Because it coordinated with Lizzo, which I think is winning in its own way.
Yeah.
I will say, I think next week's is a little stronger than this week.
Definitely. The bottom 2, Cornbread is the winner, sorry. Bottom 2 is Orion and June. They have to do Water Me by Lizzo. June.
Such a good Lizzo song. I love this Lizzo song.
It's a good one.
I'm free.
I feel like Miss Orion kind of kept up a little bit.
Orion really held her own.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that she had to go against June and Georges because she is a good performer.
Yeah.
And she can keep up, but it's just hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, June obviously had this.
She had this in the bag. And Orion is eliminated. Or is she?
For now.
For now. All right, then we go into the second hole, the big opening 2. where Alicia Keys is our guest judge. And all I was thinking about the whole time was Alexis Mateo's crazy. Was she doing?
Lesbian.
Am I getting my divas mixed
pregnant
up?
Alicia Keys.
That's right, she was. Okay, I was like...
She had a crush on Amber. Call me anytime, baby.
Yes! Our first in the workroom is Georges. It's so weird seeing Georges now after having just perceived her on All Stars 9 and being like, this bitch really has not changed that much. It's kind of incredible. Like, normally you see a huge All Stars glow up. We have Deja Sky looking like an Oompa Loompa.
I hate this entrance look. I don't want to disrespect her because she's capable of amazing things.
Yes. Jasmine Kennedy, the Venn diagram of Jasmine Masters.
Oh my God, this is also such an awful entrance look. It's okay because Jasmine Kennedy has honed her drag. This is just because this is a war between a girl who wants to be young and fresh and a girl who's raised in the old school pageant world.
Totally.
And like this and her runway are both so that. But like she's really figured it out now and really like finessed her drag. Mm-hmm. So I don't mind saying that because this is a version of her that she herself has moved on from and improved from.
Right. A lot of these girls have. It's so interesting. This is such an odd time capsule.
It's the way it's like a bunch of people who look totally different and then Georges.
They literally have all evolved so hard from this moment. But, like, you can kind of see the COVID-ness of it all. You know? Like, them being plucked straight out of, like, the end of quarantine lockdown and dropped into Drag Race like a claw machine. And it's like, damn, you really were in a self-discovery era and got on TV right in the middle of that.
True.
And then Georges, who is just Georges all the time.
Gorgeous like Georges.
We have Maddie Morphosis, our straight agent of chaos. Looking like Guy Fieri.
The Guy Fieri look is crazy.
It's so nuts.
Maddie this season is so weird. She gets the weirdest edit.
Right.
Because it's like they don't want her to seem like she's ever in on the joke. Mm-hmm. So like even this episode she pulls like Santino's hat out, the like weird confused look she has.
Yes.
And like when she'll be on the runway and there will be like a weird like slightly concerned look from her.
Yeah.
Knowing her sense of humor now, it's so funny the way she's presented this season.
Right.
Like almost like she's on Pranked as if she's not a drag. You know
she's on candid camera.
Like she doesn't know what's happening. Like she's fully like she's a drag queen and like doing like watching like what's it called? Give It To Me Straight. She clearly is in the know. Mm-hmm. She is so in the know.
So it's plugged in.
Funny. Yeah. So it's so funny that she's presented as this like, huh? What is happening? I'm just a straight guy.
On Drag Race.
Yeah.
They like make such a joke out of her, unfortunately, this whole season. And that was honestly my biggest worry of her going into it, is that they would make a joke out of her. And that's kind of my fear all the time. Anytime that someone who's a little out of what the normal box is, I'm like, are you going to be made fun of? Like, did you get brought in here just to be a joke? Because I hate that shit. We have Angeria Paris Van Michaels, our future All Stars 9 winner.
Yes.
I love Miss Angeria.
I mean, she comes in like a ray of sunshine. The look is on 10. The energy is on 11.
Check.
The vibe is perfect.
Check.
I feel like she immediately comes in and is like revered.
Totally. I could listen to her talk for like 10 years.
Well, she also comes in and she's one of those people that has like familiar energy of like, wait, do I know you? Or like, have I heard like you speak before? Like, who does she remind me of? Super like comforting, familiar feel.
Completely. Next, we have Lady Camden, our very first Brit on the US to not be a flop. Sorry, Charlie Hides.
Lady Camden is so wild.
I'm obsessed with her.
I love her, but her aesthetic is so hit or miss.
She has a very odd, and this has been compared before, a very odd parallel trajectory to Brooklyn Heights. Someone who is from outside the U.S., performing in a U.S. competition, comes from a dance background, makes it to top 2 with a girly who has a chronic illness, who's a little bit quirky and weird, and gets runner-up.
Wow, so true.
Really odd parallel energy to them.
Okay, she's one of those girlies who's a dancer and she dresses like she's a dancer.
She dresses like a Spice Girl.
She
all the
dresses
time.
like she's ready to move.
You know what I think about with Camden all the time? That lip sync Lollapalooza where she's like, I feel like she's in the background of that shot and the camera like is focused on one queen and then zooms in on her and she's like in that giant pink hair.
Yeah, it's
and
Bosco in the back in the foreground and her in the background in focus. Yeah, doing what's that song? What's it gonna be?
I think about that all the time.
It's in Vogue.
I can't remember, but I think about just that moment of her like emoting back there.
Yeah.
That's like always up in my brain.
So hot.
Then we have last in the room, Diabetica.
Diabetica. Also hate this look. I'm being too harsh on these runways. Well,
no,
these aren't. It's okay because these aren't runways. I don't
looks.
like this.
You're allowed to not like this. I don't like it either.
And I will be a Diabetica apologist later down the road because I love me some Diabetti.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched her pit stop with Monet and I was like, wow, I forgot how much I love her.
She's a fun character.
I hate this look and everything about it.
Can I say?
Say it.
The Crystal allegations are kind of crazy. She doesn't look like Crystal Method.
It's so crazy in hindsight. It was such recency bias.
Yeah.
Because I forgot how much of a chokehold Crystal did have those couple of years. People fucking loved Crystal.
They even played Rhythm of the Night when she mentions that she's Crystal's daughter.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like they really are not similar at all.
She looks like Pythia.
I was going to say, this look is so Acacia Forgot coded.
I
could see Acacia in this RN today.
Totally. Completely. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like, the Crystal allegations go crazy, and I don't see it. Like, she looks more like Pythia to me than Crystal.
Okay, but again, that's what I'm saying with, like, recency bias. You said Pythia because you just watched Canada.
Sure.
And I said Acacia because I'm thinking about season, like, whatever. It's like... We will project whatever queen we doth project onto the queen, but
that's true.
It's just like if she didn't say she was. Oh my god! Could you imagine if she kept it like a secret?
It didn't say anything,
and
until
she
the finale.
didn't say that she was Crystal Method's. She's my. I've got this secret, and I just can't tell these girls. And then she like breaks down.
I feel like I'm just not being honest.
She breaks down crying like after the Lollapalooza and she's like, I'm Crystal Method's sister.
And has a full Kahana moment.
And she's crying. It's like, to the beat of the
rhythm of the night in Echo.
Yeah.
I honestly would have gagged because like she doesn't look or act like Crystal at all. So I just don't even know where that came from. When they asked her like, you look familiar. Are you anybody's daughter? Like I almost feel like a producer was like, hey, we'll give you $25 if you ask her this question.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ask her. It was like those grocery shopping commercials or those like competition shows where they're like, for $50, find Chex cereal. And they're like, I'm going to get it, you know?
Please.
So we've got, for this photo shoot, they have to be in Tic Tacs. And Deja gets the rude Tic Tac flip out. What do you think of RuPaul's acting?
I feel like she had a little bit of anger stored within her from the pandemic,
sure,
etc. And she wanted to be able to unleash on someone in a controlled situation.
Sure.
She was like, I want to... It's kind of like when Ellen would prank people. I think she was being very Ellen in that moment.
Sure. I wonder if this would have been recorded after UK versus the World. And so I wonder if like she got home after crowning Blue Hydrangea, was pissed off.
Oh my God.
Had to hear Pangina cry and she like stays up at night thinking about Pangina's tears. And like she just couldn't sleep for like 3 weeks just hearing Pangina crying all the time. And she was like, I'm so mad. I got to scream at someone. I'm going to get this out. Here.
Right. She heard the name Sky and she was like, Blue? Sky?
Blue Hydrangea Sky?
She's like, is she an Irish twink? No. She's a plus size black woman? I don't care. Bring her out. I'm going to torment her.
The thought trail went all the way there. It had to have been. Because like they would have filmed UK versus the World before she flew back to the States to film this. Theoretically. I don't know. According to Willem, they did it right after 3. Angeria wins
in 3 days.
In 3 whole days, which is Willow is crazy. We have Angeria winning the mini, and our Maxi is another talent challenge. Before we get into that, Daya does that thing. You know that thing. Have you ever been at a slumber party with like straight people, and you're like trying to figure out if like they might kiss you? So you're like, so have you ever like kissed a guy before? Or you'd be like, you only ever kiss girls. Like she does that in the room and asks like, so who's a gold star gay here? Who's never slept with a woman? And Andrea's like, well, I'm not gold. And I was like, yes, Angeria. And then Maddie goes, I'm not. And Daya goes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to know, was she trying to get that ball rolling, or did a producer ask her? And if that was the case, was Maddie like, this fucking bitch?
Right.
Because Maddie obviously would know how pointed of a question that was coming from
Completely.
her. No one else, everyone else would be like, what a weird fucking question, whatever. Right. So I'm just so curious to know if she was prompted to ask that by someone or if she herself asked that, because either way, if I was Maddie, I'd be like, this bitch trying to rat me out day one.
It was grocery games. There was some freaking producer was like, for $50, can someone ask the
Chex
room?
Mix.
Exactly.
Maddie's heterosexuality was the Chex Mix.
For $50, name a straight person in the room. And then Rue does out her during the walkthroughs. So she had to answer it eventually, but the room was gagged.
Listen, between Willow last episode and Maddie this episode, she has no tact. She's like, I'm not going to wait for y'all to reveal it yourself.
Yeah.
So you're chronically ill and depressed, right? Oh, okay. And you're straight? Okay, awesome. There's our storylines this season. Let's go, y'all.
I'm a producer out here trying to get things going.
Get the ball rolling. We got chocolate, so I need to make sure I get everything covered. I got to make room for this chocolate reveal.
We have our talent shows. Georges does Built to Last and dances very strongly.
Gorgeous. I think, how do I say this? The first time I watched this, I was so mesmerized. It's less impactful now because it is the Georges 1-2 special.
Sure.
But it was still amazing.
Rue going, yes, bitch. Bless you. Yes, bitch. Bless you.
Every time you said yes, bitch, I sneezed like it was a spell. I hated that.
Abracadabra.
Yes, bitch. Yeah. RuPaul was living.
She was dying.
In that moment, her All-Stars gig was sealed.
Her Crystal Versace bells were dinging right then and there. She was like, oh my God, it reminds me of her. Everything reminds me of her. We have Jasmine doing lip syncing to In Love with a Monster, which is so funny because literally the very next year we see Sasha do it.
She did good.
Yeah, I thought it was really captivating in its
very
own
high energy.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't split some of the dancing girls. They split a lot of the other talent shows that were similar. But Georges and Jasmine, I feel like should have maybe been separated.
They were definitely pitting them against each other from an early point.
Totally. We have Daya doing Get This Party Started by Pink as a lip sync number. It was very like nightclub girl. Like, I'm not on Drag Race. I'm a Hamburger Mary's.
So nightclub. It was crazy. This was like the most, like one of the biggest offenses of literally just doing a lip sync for your talent show.
With the little hat underneath the big hat.
Disrespectful. I hated it.
Disrespectful
to
truck
drivers. If she was going
to
commit and do like full on like magic, like
sure,
do an entire like 60 minutes of parlor trick magic, that's one thing. But just being like a magician at a party.
Yeah.
Doing this number it was so crazy.
It was really low key for no reason. Lady Camden was doing a ballet dance number, and Rue tried to sabotage her very early by being like, "No, I've been to ballet and it's boring." And Camden was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do it anyway."
Yeah, right. But it was fine.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was alright.
So the talent shows, I feel like, were really low key this episode, but the runways were better.
Yeah.
Deja does the cheerleader comedy routine.
Fuck Maddie. You said.
No, she's not here yet. It's not time.
No, her talent show.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, wow.
Hold on, wait.
Well, no, the look sucks.
Tell me about Deja. What do you think about Deja and her cheerleader routine? Or do you not want to talk about that?
Well,
'Cause
no,
we can
I didn't
talk
want
about
to talk
Maddie.
about. Oh, Deja's. Well, we didn't talk about Deja's because it was bad.
So let's talk about Maddie. She did live guitar
I
playing.
thought it was. I think it's impressive whenever anyone plays a live instrument.
I agree.
I think the look was underwhelming, but
Super.
I would have loved if. I mean, obviously, it's not, Maddie's not going to do this, but if someone could, if I could, if I was a drag queen, I would just be playing electric guitar either in like a gown or a slutty little look.
Yeah.
I'd be in a skimpy little look playing electric guitar and twirling around, or I'd be in a gorgeous gown. Like, we'll get to her, but in France, in season 1, La Grande Dame, for her talent show, she plays saxophone in like a pretty little cocktail dress.
That's why she had the sax.
Which is why the man holds the sax and she goes, oh.
Yes. I'm so ready for her.
Yeah, I'm just here to like do like an actual talent and a pretty look.
She looked great.
She did an actual talent. She just didn't have a pretty look.
I mean, like, visual, presence-wise, she looked great.
Visually, she looked like she was about to do a stand-up about living in New York.
But like a really uncomfortable one.
Yeah.
And then last, we have Angeria, who was everything.
Check.
If drag is what you want, then I got lots of it. And then she lists 100 adjectives with check afterwards. It's like bottom, queen, fierce, sickening, check after every one of them.
Has hair.
Check.
Pads,
Nice teeth.
cinches, wears heels,
Check.
breathes, has a pulse.
Flawless. Check. She's everything. I loved her so much. We have another signature sickening drag. Do you have any standouts? And why is it Metamorphosis?
Oh, I mean T. Honestly, I would say Maddie's my number one faux show. And then my number 2 is honestly Deja.
You liked it.
You didn't.
I think it's really nice lace. I don't know if I love that blue. I think I would have liked it better if it was like maybe a mint green. I don't know if I love that blue with this lace.
Pistachio.
Oh, bitch, a pistachio would have been
Or
great
like a
on there.
really like pale, like almost like a creamsicle color.
Ooh, yes.
Like that black lace with like a white, like a cream and white instead of blue and black.
Yeah, because I feel like this saturation of this like turquoisey blue, I feel like with the print on it, it sort of gets washed out and everything just looks dull.
Yeah, but I love the like silhouette.
The silhouette is
like,
crazy.
The nude part with the
Yeah.
drop waist, and then the like the layering, and then the hat. Like I love the silhouette of it. I agree that the colors could have been. This would be so fun to put in Photoshop and recolor.
Yeah.
And just like put the slider around and see it in different tones. But
yeah.
for me, para me, her and Maddie, obviously.
Miss Madeline Ashton. She looked so good. The fact she was hunched over the whole time during this is insanely impressive.
Yeah.
Isn't there a girl in like Philippines too who did something like this?
Yes.
I've seen the
see
look.
it where she's like holding her like she's like cut in half basically. Super fun.
I still don't know how she did that. Like I've watched that runway 100 times just to watch her, and I'm like, how did she do it?
How don't
do it. We have Angeria winning the very first challenge with
Check.
Daya and Deja in the bottom 2, lip syncing to Falling by Alicia Keys. I love this song, but I don't like it for TV.
Ooh, okay, spill.
It's a lot like what we just had with this Olivia Rodrigo song.
Ooh.
It like is a great song to listen to and vibe to. Like when I remember when Falling came on, I was like, ooh, I love this song. But then the more it went on, I'm like, this is not really a great lip sync song. Now, I will say, Deja worked her pussy
I was
out.
about to say on your point, I think the only reason it went so well was because of Deja.
Yeah.
I mean, Daya did have that cool moment with the cut with the lipstick under the nails moment.
Sure.
That was cute. But Deja brought so much like power and like soul to it.
Yeah.
That it really needed. That I think, yeah, if it had been Lana and Hormona,
oh my God,
it would have been so boring. Girl, I was so bored.
Gina Gum.
Yeah.
I was so bored.
I was so bored.
Literally, though. And Rue says that Deja might be a lip sync assassin. Do you feel like this was a little too early? Like episode 1 of seeing this girl and like, ladies, we have a lip sync assassin on our hands.
Yeah, it's also such a weird thing to put on her because like, what if that's her only time in the bottom?
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also weird because, like, we don't really hear her say that much in the future either.
No.
Because it's also, like, I don't know. When, like, a Trinity K. Bonet or a Vanity Milan lip syncs, like, you don't say that.
No. Or Coco.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess because that is that, to your point, though, you said earlier, not a good song. So I think she also might have been impressed by how she handled such a difficult song.
Yeah.
And had such a great harness on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about this comment in the context of the alleged lip sync that Deja does later in the season.
Yes.
That's so bad that they cut it out.
Yeah. Because she did a solo, right? For the Snatch game.
Allegedly. That is so funny to think about with that comment in mind.
I have to know if that's real. I must know. The thing that I was just thinking about, my intrusive thought was, I wonder if they spend so much money on that Enya song and Boy is a Monster that they were like, so we can't afford any good lip sync songs this season, so we're just going to do whatever's available.
Drag.
Whatever's the cheapest. Falling's great, but I'm sure it wasn't that expensive.
They do a lot of 2000 songs because even the Beyonce song they do, Sugar Mama, it's an interesting like retro pick of songs throughout the season because like the Lollapalooza is all 70s to 2000s for the most part. This is a 2000 song, but then like later like Sugar Mama by Beyonce, like yes, it's Beyonce, but it's I think B-Day Beyonce or prior, which is like that is older Beyonce, which I'm sure is easier to license.
Yeah. And isn't one of the last songs of the season Gimme Gimme a Man, but it's the Cher version from Mamma Mia 2? Oh, I think that's the final song.
Yes. I mean, well, they spent all their money on telephone and then waste it.
Totally. Wasted
now
it
that
at
they
the
bought
end.
the licensing, can't they use it again?
Probably.
Like, come on.
Holland reused everybody's lip syncs. Why can't the US?
True.
All right. So we have episode 3, a pair of balls. The queens meet each other for the first time. And then they bring back the 2 previously eliminated girls, which I love that they got a chance. But also I was like, well, why didn't Kelly Mantle get this opportunity? How dare you?
Yeah. No,
How dare you?
I get it. I get. First of all, how dare you?
Rue then announces our producer favorite candy bar, where they all will get a chocolate bar, and one of them will be gold at some point in the competition. And if they open up their chocolate bar and it's gold, they get to stay. But if it's chocolate, they must sashay away. And I heard rumors that they didn't get to keep these.
It was like you picked it, and then it was like they're gone.
Yeah, and they were removed
and then you never
from the
see it
premises.
again, and then they bring it out when you get eliminated.
Yeah, that was the rumor. But they wrote their names on it allegedly. So it was like, oh, the sanctity of the competition is secure and safe until it's convenient for us to not have it be that way.
Right?
A little sus. So we have 2 balls, which normally are very fun, but I don't know if I liked there were 2 balls here. It felt like, to me, 2 late ball categories that they were like, we don't know if we ever want to use these, so let's just put them into one episode.
None of these were slay enough to be a full ball.
No.
Like, I wouldn't want to see 12 girls do any of these.
No.
Or this be like a top 5 ball.
Not at
So
all.
it felt all right. Because if I had waited to top 5 and it had been a red, white, and blue ball, I would have been like, fuck everyone.
I'm skipping this episode. Yeah. For the week 1 girls are going to do zebra print resort, leopard evening gown, wedding gown eleganza using animal prints. And week 2 are going to do red, white, and blue, which is barf. kind of similar ideas.
My confusion. Why were we holding on to bridal with two different textiles that were not bridal
at all?
Like, just say evening gown. Like, it was so weird. Or red carpet. It was so weird that we were holding on to the bridal part of it, but whatever.
You know how WoW has bugs up their butt about literally everything? Like, things come in duos. We saw that with Holland, with UK, XYZ. I feel like the bug up their butt was bridal from the Italian women. From the makeover. They were like, we have to do bridal again.
Can I also say, I feel like, oh God, why did we get even more American after Trump got elected the first time?
Very nationalism.
I will say, to Drag Race's credit, season 3 and 4 both had political challenges. 3 had the troops challenge, 4 had the compulsory election challenge. Which,
and so did 8.
Is this season going to have an election challenge?
Oh. No, because we had one for 16.
We did?
Yeah, remember? They did the, I got the power.
Oh.
I got the power.
Okay, anyways.
And no one went home. They used the potion.
They used the power.
They did.
Okay, so anyways.
The way you forgot about that.
Like, yeah, because... It didn't feel like the political challenge.
Yeah.
It felt so different.
It's like every 4, I think.
Yeah.
4, 8, 12, 16.
Yeah. So to that point, yes, they have had political challenges before, but specifically, they have diabetically, they have been all up that red, white, and blue American ass.
Yeah.
In recent years, and I hate it.
Me too.
Just say I hate you in that red, white, and blue.
Me too. I think what you and I and a lot of queer people hate is nationalism. I don't think we have a problem with like being patriotic.
Yeah.
Because like there are a lot of great things about whatever country you come from, no matter where.
Yeah.
Like I think you and I like when they do patriotic looks for like other countries, but when it gets too nationalistic, it's like...
And, like, obviously everyone has their own relationship and feeling about this.
Sure.
Sam Star came in red, white, and blue of her own volition. I personally feel like being asked to display nationalism as a person, and I am of a very, like, comfortable class as a white gay man. Like, gay is the only thing that is taking me in the opposite direction. But even that, if I were a drag queen, being asked to display nationalism as a demographic that is to some extent like targeted or harassed or not provided the same luxuries by the people I'm supposed to be showing this nationalism for, I'm like, fuck that. No. Like I feel no obligation to display pride as an American if America is not for me as a queer person. So I hate that nationalism shit.
Can I just say I hate that nationalism shit. Nationalism shit, baby. But you know what I love? Dragonflies. And that cornbread option. A dragonfly. That soundbite lives in my brain all the time. A dragonfly. $1,000 for Diabetica to eat that. And Cornbread realizes in real time that her name is not Diabetica.
The Diabetica breakthrough was crazy. But it's better because Diabetica is such an amazing drag like nickname.
Yeah.
Diabetica.
And in this episode, Cornbread starts to emerge as this really strong figure in the workroom, like helping Willow, making sure her hands are warm, that she's being taken care of, and doing all these really motherly things for her. And I'm like, it is such a shame that this woman did not get to the end, because we really deserved her.
Yeah, longer. It's very cute, but it's also giving the energy of like maybe someone who hasn't always been looked out for in their own experiences, making sure that the person not being looked out for is being looked out for, which I really respect and admire. Yeah. And it's also just her being a good friend and advocating for her friend, which I love. Yeah. They're just such a cute little friendship.
Yeah, I agree. So there's a lot of looks. We would normally, I think, devote more time to this, but we have one more episode to get into.
Do we want to like rapid fire just yes, like toot or boot, yes or no? Or do you want to just say highlights? Yeah, let's rapid fire toot or boot. So we have a group one. We have Alyssa's looks. I think it's a toot. Okay, zebra print, resort look. Meh.
Yeah? You don't like them? I think her zebra print is really cute.
I'm going to give it a boot because it's more like jockey.
Oh, I see that.
Leopard, high toot.
Very, very
This
high
leopard evening print look might be one of the most deliciously cunty looks of the entire evening, dare I say.
Yeah, I would agree.
High toot. Animal print bridal couture, toot.
I accidentally clicked George's photo and it locked me in the wiki.
Okay,
You know
well,
when it does that?
I'll speak slowly while we get to it. Bosco.
Bosco!
Zebra print resort 2. It's really just a bodysuit with her signature spiky, and then she put fur on it to make it resort, but that's fine. Okay, I'm spending too much time on these. 2. Leopard evening wear. 2. Animal print bridal. Honestly, I'll give her toots all around. When you get back to it,
I'm giving her toots on the zebra and then boots on everything else.
oh, I just realized she is double zebra, isn't she?
She is double zebra.
Well, because the black and white's very her, though.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they had tons of options, so...
I like it all. June, I'm going to toot the zebra.
Toot zebra, 100%.
Boot the rest.
Boot nasty on both.
Boot nasty the rest.
It's so bad.
Carrie is a 3-way too.
Yes, that first look with the zebra and the pink.
Okay, I was about to say what I loved about Carrie was the pop of color, because this runway is so exhausting because of how repetitive it is tone-wise.
It's dull.
It's the pop of pink in the zebra and then that lavender leopard. Fuck off. I love that cunty purple leopard.
And her construction look with those boots. I'm a slut for boots. Like, you could put boots on pretty much anything, and I'm like, yes.
It elevates it. Well, even if she did a mini dress, having a boot on there compared to just a heel, like, come on.
She's very, like, runway model-esque all season. Like, she looks like she's runwaying. Cornbread, I'm going to boot the zebra. I'm going to toot the leopard. And then I'm going to boot animal print.
I agree.
That leopard is so hot. She looks like Queen Latifah in Last Holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that film.
Okay. I know we're trying to be fast, but can I just say, I'm sick of a girl wearing a skirt and a top and then holding a mallet and it's like, nah, Heather's. Like, fuck off. Just because you're wearing an American Apparel tennis skirt and you have a mallet, like, it's Heather's, it is not. You know what I mean, though?
Didn't
like,
Jax do something like this too?
Yes, and it's what made me think of it. And I'm like, fuck all the way off. At least Jax had like a jacket, I think.
And that was for the design challenge.
But I'm like, you need to give me a matching plaid skirt and jacket, sportswear realness. And if you're not giving that and you're just giving me a skirt and a top and a mallet, don't try and give me no Heather's realness. So it's a boot.
That middle look is so hot.
It's giving the prehistoric runway that never happened on season 10.
Yeah.
That Cracker and like everyone had looks for. It's very that to me.
It's what I think Sister thought she was doing.
And then, okay, do you know what it's giving? Her middle look is the Redemption runway of her sewn look.
Yes. She's doing the worst look and Redemption in the same week.
Yeah, because the leopard is gorgeous and it's so like her aesthetic that I see for her, the like Lana Del Rey like Muppet.
Yes.
But the sewn look is not, especially the hair is not it.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah.
And then Willow. I like the second and the last one. I think I'm like, it's a soft boot for zebra.
I really don't love that zebra, but I do appreciate she's the only one that really has, other than the pop of pink with Carrie, she really has that different vibe going for. It is also distinctly resort.
Yes.
Which I will say. It's one of the more resort of them.
She looks like she's going to the gift shop.
Drag her, yeah.
There's gift shops at resorts. It's not a drag.
It's also giving cruise ship.
Yeah.
I love the evening look.
It's so good.
Love. And then, yeah, the bridal looks cute. I don't like any of them.
I don't really like any of the bridal because none of them are bridal to me. They're all bridesmaids.
That's why they should have just said evening. Or like leopard print or animal print evening eleganza. I hate that it was bridal.
And none of the shapes they were all inappropriate for bridal. I mean, even Alyssa's, it didn't touch the floor.
Yeah, Hormone Elisa would have swept
Oh yeah,
that.
if they had done bridal
She said,
for
bridal,
17,
I'm ready.
I'm ready for that, honey. I can do bridal all day long. I don't know
For
why I sound
RuPaul Charles.
I don't know why I sound like Leslie Jordan. I could do bridal all day long, RuPaul. All right, and then we have group 2. Your favorite color schemes. This whole runway, this whole week is just so dull.
I know. Leopard print and red, white, and blue is also like
atrocious. So Red Hot Resort, evening wear, why it gotta be white, and red, white, and blue bridal couture. It should have just been blue, but they just did blue ball, so they couldn't.
Yeah. I'm also sick of white runways, white parties, white, like any of that. Angelic white. I'm sick of it. I hate
You're tired
white.
of it. We've had
hate
it.
white. So these will be quicker in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Angeria's Red Hot Resort, it's a toot for the look, but it's not resort. It's like 60s
It's like
nightclub.
all 3 looks are toots, but they're yawning toots. Mm-hmm. Yawn toots. Susie yawn toots.
Yeah. She looks like she's going to like church in the middle one. It doesn't look like an evening.
I do think she kind of ate the bridal in the sense that it's one of the less patriotic. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate the lack of red, white, and blue, and that she more just leaned into a specific vibe.
Yeah.
And didn't really make it have to be super like red, white, and blue.
Right. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking most of these white looks look like they're going to church. Now that I'm looking at them again.
No, they're very church.
Because we're getting into Diabetica, and I boot the first one, and then the second one is like Lady Gaga as the Countess goes to church. And then that last one is like Cha-Cha Vegas, which is, both of them are boots.
Cha-Cha. I see, for me, it's like tutu boot. I don't like the last look. Boot. The evening wear is ill-fitting, but it's I do kind of like this silly little pigtail like lollipop look.
Sure.
Deja Skyaka.
Boot. I hate.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I hate that plum with the red dress. I really hate it.
That's true. Well, it's so
distracting.
It's so Valentine's Day hooker.
The
lavender
evening
and
wear
red
looks like she's going to church, and I think there's not really a way to bring this to evening. Like, it looks daytime to me. And then the bridal, I love the shape. It's the most bridal to me, but I don't like the draping of the blue and the white.
The blue and okay. Deja does this with all of her sewn looks that she makes on the show. She adds extra drapery to make it look more grand, which is unnecessary because that initial dress in just the red was so slay.
Yeah.
She could have even just wrapped that blue silk around her somewhere else, but not have it hanging. For me, it's a boot toot.
That's so fair. Georgina. Oh, no. That's
Jasmina.
That's Jasmine. My wiki scrolled down. Jasmine... can I say I loved all of these looks? The star is really tacky, but I kind of love that she leaned in on the fact that these were the most hideous materials in the world. So she was like, I'm America, getting married to myself because I choose me.
Get into it.
And it's like very Statue of Liberty, too.
What do you think of that that rock lobster bikini look?
Stop, because I screamed. It was so unnecessary.
It was so stupid, but I kind of loved it.
I lived. She was my winner of the ball. Is that crazy?
This is more like an acceptable, like, oh, like I'm showing them that I can do comedy or something. Like nowadays it's like, oh, I'm showing them I can do comedy, and they're like, I don't know, they're like showing them their ass or something. Right. And I'm just like, let's do more.
I'm showing them that I'm funny. Here's my fuzzy butt.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of like, I hated that white look.
That's so fair. It looks ice skatery.
I'll say for me, it's toot boot batoot.
Okay. Like a strange boot.
Yeah. A strange boot.
What do you think about Georgina?
I'm a George's apologist. It's a triple boot. The first look is so basic, but I'm obsessed with the presentation of it, and I think about it daily. Her like fanning herself going, it's so hot, like mouthing that, like, oh, so hot.
It's so muggy.
Like,
literally cinematic parallels.
It's so hilarious. Like the way she was selling it was just funny to me. Like fanning herself, be like, oh, it's so hot. Even though it's just a red dress.
In all 3 looks, she's giving me John Leguizamo in
Little Latin Boy in Drag.
Chuang Fu, yeah.
I love her looks because it's like, it's just a red dress, it's just a white dress, it's just a blue dress. She looks great in all of them, though.
Yeah. And she presented them well.
Presents them well. That is the thing about Georges is, yeah, she's baby, but compared to other baby queens, she can sell shit way better than a lot of them.
Totally.
And that's the thing that I do appreciate about Georges is, like, compared to other queens that we talked about before we started filming, younger girls who are allergic to serving, you know, charisma, like black holes, like they're just like wearing the look, not doing it. Like,
yeah,
she has so much energy and so much, like, she's trying the hardest to sell it and give energy and opulence to it. And I appreciate that.
Me as well. Lady Camdine. She looks like she's going to tell your fortune in the first look.
This fortune teller pirate, Gilligan's Island. Like, I hate it.
I hate it too.
I also hate when Camden wears a dark wig. I hate her in dark hair.
Really?
Yeah. For me, like, she's a ginger or a blonde.
She's really fair
or even
skinned
pink hair
for that hair
like
color.
Ginger, pink, and blonde for me are her trio of colors. It's like when Courtney wears black hair.
Yeah, it's a little jarring.
Yeah, and she
love
does
the white
dark
look,
hair
though.
all three looks this week.
Yeah, she was trying to do a through line, I think.
I thought that white look was sick, though. I thought that was actually really cool.
It's my favorite of the evening wear.
The way the white, like, neck part, like, wraps around and behind her.
Yeah.
It's so, like, weird and structural. I'm, like, super fascinated by it. And I actually really appreciate the taste level of her red, white, and blue.
Me as well.
The way she splits it into more of red and blue with white accents, it breaks it up to make it not so immediately patriotic.
Yeah.
It makes it more just that red, blue, like, tone shift. And then even just using that, the way she made that ugly ass tinsel kind of like pretty.
Yeah.
Cause like, I know that material. I know it's ugly.
Yeah.
I know it's cheap, but she like did good.
And there's something very English about her look too. It doesn't look American,
It's
red, white, and blue.
so English. I agree. And I really dig that.
Me as well. I think it's a fun way of kind of twisting
Cause
it.
it's a little punk, no? The
Yeah.
like spray painty, like it is a little like London street.
Yeah. Like, what is that? What was the British takeover? What was that called? British invasion. It's a little British invasion to me. I kind of am like obsessed. What do you think of Madeline?
This is a girl who pegs her boyfriend, the Red Hot Resort look.
Completely.
And her name is Madeline. This is Madeline H. Evening wear white, gotta be white. Okay, it's great in the picture, but I do remember the critiques, and I do kind of agree with the critiques that she didn't sell it.
No.
It's a gorgeous look that she did not sell and doesn't feel personal to her.
She felt timid on the runway in all three looks. And even this last one, I think this was a solidly constructed look, but she looked like she wanted to be literally anywhere else except there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what
Shotgun
that
wedding.
was. Yeah.
She wanted to get married and go.
She needed to get the hell out of there. Yeah, overall, kind of boot nasty ball.
Yeah, I'm glad that neither of these were a fully expanded upon category.
Our tops are Willow, Angeria, and Georges, who gets the Born to Do Drag speech early.
It could have waited.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
The dossier needed it right away. She was thinking about Crystal, and she was like, I have to say this now because I'll never get the chance to say it again. I'll forget about Crystal soon. She's leaving the memory banks.
Yeah.
Like, Rue only has a limited amount of space in there, and it, like, cycles out quickly. And our bottoms are Orion, Maddie, and June. I honestly think that, like, Bosco could have been in the bottom over Orion.
Wow.
To be honest. Sorry, Bosco, I know you're listening. Please turn this part off. And then we have Maddie and June lip syncing to I Love It by Kylie Minogue. Not one of Kylie's best songs.
No, and I think that this is a great era of Kylie, like the disco music, but like I think she has better songs.
I would
Her
agree.
new music pops the fuck off. I've never been like a huge Kylie Minogue fan. Not saying like I dislike her, but she was just one of those ones. Also, I think this is an American problem. She's like super unappreciated in the States compared to her slayage overseas.
At least with modern gays. I feel like you talk to gays over like 30 and they're like, I love Kylie.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But younger gays don't appreciate her in the US. But her newest album, like Tension Onwards, Tension and Tension 2. Oh my God.
So good. She's
So
kept
good.
up with trends well.
Yes. Okay. That's the thing is like, I don't want to be too hateful, but like other women like Madonna, where it does feel a little cringy sometimes.
Bitch, I'm Madonna.
Like Kylie's in her 50s, but it's not cringy. I'm like, this is slay. She's giving it. Like, work, bitch.
CUNTY.
Yeah.
All the time. Have they ever done Dancin' by Kylie Minogue? Because that's a great song.
No, not yet.
That's a wonderful song. Oh, I forgot to say our winner is Willow, which I was kind of surprised about.
You think it should have been Alyssa?
I think it could have been someone else.
Angeria? Camden?
No, I would have given it to Jasmine. I would have given the win to Jasmine. I was really gagged by her presentation.
Sick. You're sick.
Disgusting.
I think for me it's between Willow and Camden, honestly.
Okay, that's so fair. I know I'm
But I
vile
hated
for
that pirate Camden look. So I hated most of the resort looks.
Me
though,
as
to
well.
Be fair.
Hated them. June becomes our official first out, and we get our dramatic that silent ass hill horn. It's chocolate.
It's chocolate.
And then Rue going,
It's like she got shot.
yeah. They said, Rue, can you act really sad? She went, okay, I got you. Oh. Rue, can you act like you had to eliminate Jimbo again? We know you're still sad about that. Oh. Do you have stamina for one more?
Of course.
Okay, so moving into episode 4, our last of tonight. She's a super tease. She's a super tease. It's an acting challenge where they're having to do super tease cuts of a fake drag race season. And I wish that they would do this all the time.
Kind of a brilliant idea.
Better than RDR.
Because it actually brought a couple clips that they were able to use in the trailer, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, the idea of make the teaser for your season is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Or even if they just expand upon it, like, or do like a snippet of it of like, make the most like social media worthy fight of your season.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Where
it would create such good TV.
Yeah, dude. Or literally like lean into it, like make the most Emmy worthy scene. Like, come on. Like, they already, like, everyone already knows they're trying to get that Emmy. Like, lean into it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be so funny. Like, or it's like, yeah, like a fight or like an emotional scene. Like, they have to do one or the other.
That would be so good.
Like, I was born at a young age.
That was
or
so
you
brilliant.
ugly bitch.
You ugly
like,
bitch.
I feel like those are the two, like, archetypes of, like, what I'd want to see for this kind of challenge. It's like the fight or the, like, come to Jesus moment.
This is not RuPaul's best Southern hospitality race. This was such a great episode for the sound bites and for the Jasmine and Cornbread fighting.
Oh my god!
Because Jasmine's like being painted as the delusional and crybaby chatterbox of the season, and Cornbread is not having it.
I felt this the first time I watched it. I felt this every time I watch it. Has she never met someone with ADHD?
Cornbread?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
she works in LA.
I get
know
that it
half
can
those
be
girls.
frustrating. I totally get it. But I'm like, have you never met someone who's a little all over the place? Like, because I think it was Bosco who's saying, like, everything that Jasmine does pisses her off.
Yes.
And it's like, I think it passed the threshold of like beyond reasonable, like, okay, yeah, this is disruptive to y'all. To now, like, okay, now you're being disruptive because you are getting too easily phased.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to like speak for because I can't say for certain, but I know drag queens.
Yeah.
I have had the pleasure of meeting Cornbread one time, and that was before she was on the show.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which club it was, but I remember she happened to be there, whatever club I was performing at, in drag. She was on her way somewhere. And she like walked into the room and said hi to everybody, and everyone freaked out. And I was like, who's that? And they were like, oh, that's a legend. Like in LA, everyone loves Cornbread. Like she's everything.
Yeah.
She has this energy that like when she's in a room, you look at her.
Yeah.
And drag queens, when you have that energy, are very used to like, I'm the kind of mediator in the room, very like Carmen Farala energy. Like when I'm talking, everyone listens.
Yeah.
So like, I imagine that when that's kind of what you're used to, and then you get someone who like doesn't notice you at all and is in their own universe.
Yeah.
I imagine that would be sort of like irritating. Like,
yeah.
why are you in your own little
impervious
sphere? Yeah, you're like not paying attention to the fact that I'm here at all. Like not even in a selfish way, just in a I'm used to this energy when I'm talking. And
well,
you're not
and it's
giving
also
that to me.
it's like clock in, get paid, clock out.
Yeah.
Without disruption.
Yeah.
And she clocked in.
Yeah.
She's trying to get paid.
Yeah.
There's disruption.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to clock out. And she's like, I can't clock out until you get this figured out so that I can do what I'm here to do.
Right.
Because I think, it's also one of those things of like not having like a preconceived notion, but like kind of expecting like, all right, we're going to do this. It's going to go this way. Like this is how we're going to knock it out. And someone like that is a hurdle.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I want to make space for the mental health of it all.
Sure.
But I also do recognize that can be disruptive to the productivity of that environment. But it also is funny to feel like a room full of people who had never seen someone with ADHD before. Right. Like, why is she like this?
Like you said, the way that people had atrophied during COVID.
Yeah.
Like people just forgot.
They're not used to being around. And also, but also to that point, like, our tolerance levels, I think, are not what they are even right now. Like, I think we've restored them a lot more. Like, because I remember when I first came back from the pandemic, I had no tolerance for
anything,
for other people, like, wearing me out, exhausting me. And so I do get that. It's a lot harder to, like, have patience and hold space for that when you have not been doing that for the last 2 years. You've only been holding space for yourself.
Yeah.
So I also get it in that regard. Like, just like our social skills atrophied, like we kind of threw away the last like 20 plus years of like having to always cater to other people and like hold space for them and be patient for them. Like we haven't had to move at that speed. We've been moving at whatever speed we wanted to.
Whatever we set for ourselves during lockdown.
Yeah.
And I think on top of that, Cornbread is so used to working with so many professional people in LA. Not saying that Jasmine's unprofessional, but in LA you have
a certain speed.
Because like Morgan and Raven have run that show for so many years up there. They've kind of set the tone of what those bars look like. So when other girls come in, like you mentioned, being a hurdle and you're not easy to work with and just go with the flow and do what your job is, it's like, girl, get with the freaking program. We are doing a show right now.
Oh, but like what you're saying, like that whole area, like as people who live in California, we get it. You need to move at the speed of everyone else or you will get left behind.
Yeah.
And that is just like a norm in every way of life in California.
Very
like,
much so.
Life moves at the speed it moves at. It does not slow down for anyone. And you need to either speed up or you'll be left behind.
Yeah.
But this is an environment where they can't speed along without you. They have to slow down to your speed.
Yeah.
And so that will cause frustration and sparks.
Right. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like this even happened with like Morgan and Raven in their own ways. Like they got frustrated with girls that were not doing things the way that they were supposed to be done.
Well, yeah.
A lot of the LA girls have that energy.
That happens in LA, and I would also say New York, though, too.
Totally.
New York girls who either produce, direct, they have their own shows that are this way.
Thorgy getting frustrated with Chi-Chi, who was just like kind of going with the flow, R.I.P.
Yeah.
And Thorgy was like, no, we have to do it this way.
Yeah, but then... so them, and then also even pageant queens in some of the southern cities, the big meccas of those pageant scenes too. It's like in these
Drag Alexis Mateo.
Ooh, in these respective cities and states where there's a fast moving scene, and you need to get with it or go, like it differs from the queens who are younger or kind of move their own speed or do their own thing, or there's like they make space for everyone. Like sometimes that creates sparks when it's like different approaches come together.
I agree with that, and I think that's what a lot of what we saw. This challenge was fun, and I wish that we would see more of it. The runway category, I was so like, I'm not a J-Lo stan. She's not my diva, so this didn't have a lot of impact to me.
Especially because, like, I don't want to be disrespectful.
It's our podcast.
Por mi gente Latino. It's like one of the only things I can think of when I think of J-Lo. Por mi gente Latino. Am I hateful in saying the Versace look is the J-Lo look?
Yeah.
Like,
it's not hateful, you're right.
Because it's like with Madonna, yes, obviously the cone titty is the most iconic look of all of them.
Yeah.
But she still has super distinct, like visually like fleshed out looks. Whereas other than that Versace look, nothing is super aesthetically bold or like recognizable as, oh, that's Beyonce.
Oh, that's J-Lo.
I even forgot who you're talking about. Oh, that's J-Lo. Yikes. Now you're remembering what diva we were talking about.
She's already that forgettable.
Yeah.
Acacia
being
forgot.
like, oh, that's J-Lo, because it's like, there's no, other than the Versace dress.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no like J-Lo look. Whereas like, there's tons of Gaga looks. There's tons of Beyonce looks. There's tons of Madonna looks. There's tons of Cher looks.
Right.
But it's like, J-Lo's like, she's definitely an aesthetic. She's definitely a vibe, but other than that, like, I can't think of a ton of visual references for her.
Yeah. I feel like for these types of challenges,
yes,
the best runway would be, who's your favorite queen?
Yes.
That would be so fun.
Who inspired you to do drag?
Yeah. Especially at
diva?
this point, late in Drag Race, where almost everyone's referencing someone else.
Well, and
at
it's
this
like,
point.
Okay, they were so close this season. They have the runway. We'll get to it later. What do you worship?
Oh, yeah.
They need to have a runway that's like diva worship. Who's your diva?
That would be fun
your
too.
diva, or do like a tribute to your diva. Whether it's I'm emulating her, I'm doing an exact replica of her, or I'm doing my drag funneled through her. Something like...
Something other than this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I will say Jasmine looked beautiful. I don't know if I ever would have looked at that and been like, oh, that's J-Lo. Like, if I didn't know, I would never look at that.
Yeah.
I do think that the one that Carrie was wearing, I do remember that. Yes. I don't necessarily, like, associate it with her anymore. I associate it with Carrie at this point.
Period.
But, like,
oh my God.
I wouldn't look at any of these and be like, J-Lo.
Yeah,
weren't we talking about her last week?
Jennifer
I thought we were
Lopez? Lawrence?
Yeah, Jennifer
Lawrence.
I think I remember telling you that she had to learn how to lip sync for the Selena movie, which I thought was a bold-faced lie that she had to learn how to lip sync.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, that would have been hilarious if you're like doing an iconic J-Lo look and you come as Selena.
I would live.
I honestly would be so here for that.
I would be here for
if
that.
I was not white, I would do that.
That would be
okay. I also that's the other thing that's funny is like all these white girls trying to give J-Lo realness.
I kind of love the fact that they choose a person of color because they ask the POC to do like these white girls all the time. So I love changing up the diva, but J-Lo.
I feel that. Well, I felt that when they were lip syncing to Doechii. I'm like, what a nice change of pace making these white girls lip sync to Doechii.
Yeah.
But yeah, J-Lo's not the diva. No. I would rather make them fucking do Selena.
Selena would have been great.
Could you imagine?
I would die. Oh. America would gag. America would fully gag. So in my opinion, this was Deja and Angeria. Like, this could have been a double win for them. They were both
Angeria killed it so hard.
You ugly
But
bitch.
also Deja killed it so hard.
It was
but also sleeper hit Maddie.
Yes.
They're like really, they were all a trio. They all knew. Okay. what I'll say, Angeria needed guidance, but she's so naturally funny.
Yeah.
Whereas Deja and Maddie knew the assignment.
Yeah.
Like they knew that kind of gotcha reality TV situation they were trying to create. And it was so funny. And I think Maddie leaned into her straightness so much in a fun way.
Yeah.
And I think Deja leaned into the like exploitative, emotional reality TV of it all, which is so Drag Race.
So Drag Race.
So I think they both played it to such a funny spark. And then Angeria is just embodying like naturally funny Drag Race contestant and then like hamming that up to a 10 for this challenge. So,
and she's so charismatic that she can do that.
They all like knocked it out of the park in different ways.
I felt bad for Alyssa because she, I think, is so zoned out from everything that when she's trying to come up with this character, this like super stereotypical Latina character, I think everyone was so uncomfortable and you could tell they were uncomfortable, but they didn't know how to tell her.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea because it's maybe slightly offensive. Like, yes, you are Latina. And yes, you have an accent.
But it felt a little reductive.
Right. We don't need to exploit you like that, especially us being non-Latina, saying, oh my God, girl, your accent. Like, we're not going to go jump back into the season 3 time capsule and be making fun of Yara Sophia's accent.
Yeah,
we're not doing
I
that.
I get it. And it's like, it just felt unfortunate because it felt like even Alyssa dumped herself down.
Yeah. And like, I don't think anyone knew how to tell her. Like, that's not a good idea. Because they were also like, let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to that later. And they never did. When, like, I don't know. I feel like it could have just been so easy to be like, Mama, I appreciate what you want to do. But we're in 2022 right now. It's not funny.
Do you know,
Sorry.
I would like to take a moment to give a shout out to Theresa May.
Oh.
Who is a woman who can harness her otherness, quote unquote.
Sure.
As, like, a strength and like a benefit and not like a but I think that's hard because I think not to disparage like Alyssa or anyone because I think they're put in a really difficult, complicated position of it feels like everyone in the room wants you to do something.
Right.
And it's like almost against your better judgment or like because obviously the reason that it's not maybe clicking or funny is this isn't obviously something she does all the time because like how do I say this whereas like okay Plastique that character she did she obviously has done that and it's funny because she's also in on the joke
right
and it's like she's kind of making fun and she's doing this thing whereas like with something like what Alyssa's doing almost feels like she's kind of being goaded into doing this and she's like going along with it and like this is her best delivery of what she feels she's expected to be delivering.
I have a thought here. I think, and I can, as a Latina, I'm saying this. I think Alyssa is approaching it in I'm a Puerto Rican with a thick accent, and I've been made fun of. That makes people laugh. So if you make fun of me, you know, that's okay. That'll be funny. Where she's not really in on it, on the joke. She's more just like, people do this to me.
Yeah.
Someone who, like you mentioned, you shouted out Theresa May. I want to shout out Jessica Wilde. Someone who knows she has a thick accent and plays into it, not as a, you're going to make fun of me.
Harnessing it.
It's, I'm going to use my Latina power that I've got where I don't quite understand what you're talking about and what you're saying, but I'm going to make it funny no matter what.
When you say Latina power, I'm picturing Jessica as like a sailor scout, like with like wand in hand.
Puerto Rico power, makeup, and then she's like covered in guacamole, and then she like has a guacamole dress. But like that monologue from All Stars 8, where she's like, on a Taco Tuesday, she'd never miss her car. She'd never leave the card. Guacamole is expensive. Like to go on this rant about tacos and guacamole is harnessing that power that like she does not get what's going on around the room sometimes. She has to really think about it. So she's just tapping into something that is familiar to her that does get laughs, but not making herself the butt of the joke. You know what I mean?
Circling back to like 8 episodes ago when we were talking about brilliance of Sofia Vergara's humor.
Oh, yeah.
As a Latin woman is like the reason that she never lands when people try to do her is they play her dumb.
Yeah.
She's so smart and she knows like what you're talking about, Jessica, is like she's aware.
Yeah.
But she's like leaning into the like silly little like box you're putting me into, but doing it smartly.
Exactly.
And like that is such a skill, and that's such like also it's a reclamation in its own way,
right?
Of like, yes, I'm taking the bits that you think are funny about me, but I'm controlling it,
right?
And it's my narrative and it's my comedy, and I'm using it in my terms,
yeah,
and not because you're like being like dance monkey dance about it,
right? Dance monkey dance.
Dance water dance.
Can I just say on Jessica Wilde while I'm scrolling my notes, when Ruth said, and yeah, you didn't know what a golden shower was back then. And she said, no, I don't know what a golden shower is, but I know what it is now and I love doing it. I'm like, Mama, I love you so much.
You're like, okay, yes.
I love her. Our winner rightfully is Angeria. Could have been a double win, to be honest.
Yeah.
Our bottoms are Alyssa and Carrie to play by JLo. Again, not one of her best. They could have done like Poppy. Poppy is so much better than this.
Yeah. Honestly,
I don't think they've done Poppy. Because they in 12 they did tonight we're gonna dance on the floor. Yeah. On the floor.
But also like
great.
Jenny from the Block.
There's so many other.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm still Jenny from the Block.
But Play was... Can I say Alyssa was eating her up? Like, Carrie had no chance. Like, Alyssa was devouring every single moment. And then her money gun failed. Okay. And she just plummeted in energy.
I have two thoughts. Well, yeah, she did plummet in energy. One, the money gun could have been edited out.
Totally.
And we would have never known. And she would have won. Two, it felt like Carrie shouldn't have been at the bottom.
No.
But then...
Should have been George's.
She shouldn't have gone home. So we got a weird situation of like she was wrongfully in the bottom, but then also wrongfully saved.
Yeah.
And two wrongs didn't necessarily make a right.
No, it just veered off into what happened.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened?
What the hell? Yeah. Because honestly, there are a lot of girls. Like, this was kind of like the girls who were girled and the girls who didn't. I feel like you could have justified a lot of people in the bottom over Carrie. And even you could have even made Alyssa like the third low. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know.
Can I be like really hateful?
Be really hateful.
George's was unwatchable.
George's did not do good.
And this photo does not serve it justice because it's well lit in this workroom. But on the runway, this non-Latina nude illusion, like that is not a Latina person's color. The thing with
George's though was also because she's like the JLo girl of the season.
Right.
I thought she was gonna like, but also again, it's like what JLo looks. But it's like I just thought she would have like stomped it. But it was just such a basic like dance look.
And again, the nude illusion wasn't her color.
Whereas like I feel like they should not have made Carrie lip sync in that dress. The dress.
That's
archive. Don't make her perform in that.
Absolutely not. It was disrespectful. But like, I didn't want to see Cornbread in the bottom either.
Cornbread did make me cringe. That was unfortunate.
I wonder if they were worried that Alyssa would send her home, so that like we can't put her in the bottom.
Yeah.
What if
they didn't want Carrie to go home?
No,
but yeah, it's rough because Cornbread had such a weird like downturn right before she left. Mm-hmm. And I also hate that this is why she goes home. Like, because isn't it acting a fool doing this that gets her injured?
Oh, when she jumped off the table?
Yeah.
I think so, because I think next episode she's gone.
I'm 99% sure it's her behavior during this challenge when she's like being crazy over the like whatever she was doing. And she's like rolling off the couch and like all that. She
did the mashed potato bit. She like jumped off of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when she injures herself, which is like the fact that you go home over such a stupid bit that wasn't funny anyways, like is even more frustrating.
Had such a high and then went home on a super low.
It's one thing where it's like Eureka and you get injured being forced to do a challenge that everyone had to do this crazy competitive like physical stuff for.
Right.
But like just like acting a fool for this trailer challenge, come on.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been like a big class action lawsuit against Drag Race. Like they must have crazy clauses that they got to sign. Like if they get injured, they're fine. Because like Victoria, Eureka, Madame LaQueer, Cornbread, all the ankle girls.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried it and it basically got to the point of like, hey, I would recommend reading your contract again and like check out clause 13A or something, you know.
You signed away all injuries. This is basically Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Sorry you got stretched out and you're totally paper thin now. But,
yeah, sorry you're blue now. Deal with it.
So we are at the end of this one. Quite a long one. I didn't think we'd have this much to talk about.
It was the looks.
It was the looks.
It was the congestion of looks, but hey, it had to be done.
Yeah. We got the longer one done early.
Yes.
I feel like. Any controversial opinions from this early half of the season? Like, we're early.
You know, June goes home so early.
She does.
I would have loved to at least seen June in the challenge, in the trailer challenge, like to see what she would have done for the super trailer.
Yeah.
Got a little more personality from her because we only really got looks from her.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see the battle of guitars, like I said. Maybe split up the dancer girls, put Georges or Jasmine. Put Jasmine in group 1 instead of Alyssa.
Yeah.
And then put Alyssa in group 2 and make it battle of the guitars.
I would have loved that.
And I would have been here for it.
I would have been so here for it. It would have been great. Because then maybe Alyssa probably would have been in the bottom.
Messy.
It would have been messy boots. I think my controversial opinion is, even though this is a long season, I don't ever want to hear anybody tell me that 14 was the longest season, because in our current timeline, 17 is happening. We're coming into episode 7, and only 3 girls have gone home.
It's crazy. It's episode 7 already.
7? We're literally starting week 7, and only 3 girls have gone home.
They need to figure out, because I think part of it is they're being ordered for these longer seasons, but they need to figure out a way to like fill it out with other things. Give us casting specials. Give us something like,
casting special, and then like midway through do the Conjoined Queens challenge, but some other version of like everyone comes back and do that, even if it's like contrived. Honestly, I think that Drag Race needs to really sit down and reevaluate its rubric and figure out what it's doing. Because like where we're at right now in 14, I feel like this is where the producers start to kind of lose hold of things.
Yeah.
Because they're like branching out so much and trying to expand the brand so much that they're not focused on what makes the brand interesting or unique. So then all these little spin-offs like Italia and España and Canada are trying to like reinterpret it. Thailand are trying to like reinterpret the brand, but they're so limited by what Drag Race is churning out because they're trying to still be hands-on, you know? So like the mainline seasons suffer because they're allocating too many resources to make sure the brand is being represented outside the US well.
Wow, spill.
That's what I kind of think right now.
Yeah.
That's where we're at as 14 is starting. And I think it's like this. Have you seen those graphs of like where pandemics start and they like slowly branch out?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're at the 0 center right now and it's branching out and it's like this plague is starting to infest the world.
Yeah.
And no one's like focused on ground 0 to like fix it, you know?
Damn. Too real.
That's how we feel right now. Sorry, post-pandemic season. But next week we'll jump more into season 14. Thank you all for listening. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can. And that is all that you can do. And goodbye.
Bye.